We've got 2 goals today. We want to bring you the best possible Ohio State content that we can. We also want to hit 16,000 subscribers. Oh, so close. Just a couple more subs. Help us out. Click that sub button right now. We got watch parties where we're giving away jerseys this Saturday. By the way, we got to get ours to Jerry Chavers if you're watching, but you could be the next Jerry winning a jersey during our watch party. Make sure you are subscribed to the Ohio State Football Report. Coming up, our first mailbag since I joined the channel. If you didn't see it on YouTube or our Facebook pages I put out there, leave a question or a comment with your thoughts so far during Ohio State season. 6 games played, tons of questions, tons of just statements. I thought the statements were fun too, but we're going to dive into those questions. That'll be really, really fun to take a look at, hear from you guys. My opinion, Ryan Day's opinion. Again, you guys can always leave comments, leave your opinion here on the channel. Excited for that. Before we do that, some great news to start the show. I know you guys had your thoughts on Buckeyes recruiting and 3 stars and fits, and Buckeyes landed at a 5-star yesterday. Jameer Whyce, the 5-star Dayton, Ohio area product. Instead of Miami, instead of Maryland, Whyce chooses the Buckeyes. I love it. Keeping those Ohio ties. He's a 2028 recruit. You may say to yourself, hey, that's a long way away. I don't need to worry about. Stay plugged in on Ohio State. You'll know Jameer Whyce before he sets foot on campus. Right, Buckeyes needing some help on that defensive line. I'm glad they're recruiting on the defensive line. Big-time recruit nationally, big-time recruit in Ohio. Good get for the Buckeyes. You lock them up early. You can get them acclimated, get them introduced to the program. So good news for the Buckeyes to get a 5-star. You know what to do now. Let's welcome Jameer Whyce to the Buckeye family. Congratulate him on what I would guess is achieving a dream to be a part of Ohio State. So hit that thumbs up button to welcome Jameer Whyce. Time to get to it. Our mailbag first question or concern. I've kind of grouped these just because we've gotten multiple questions, multiple comments. The first one, really, really pressing from people what they've seen from Julian Sayin. It's clear people want more Julian Sayin. Yum's talking about more than 20 times a game this guy should be passing. We got another question just acknowledging like, hey, is Julian Sayin going to have a bigger role going forward? Or are we going to see the same, that number, right? 20-ish passes per game for Julian Sayin. So good questions there from Yums and Matthew Beck. Look, Julian Sayin's role in the offense especially comes down to 2 things. Pace of play and defense, right? Starting with the defense, your defense has been so good, there's not as much pressure to run as many plays as possible, get as many points as possible, ride up the score, work quickly. Just don't have to do it. And the pace obviously intertwined with that, right? You don't have to go, more passes, more runs, get the ball back, go. Everything's been really great on defense, so you kind of just don't have to operate that way. You can sit back, control the clock, manage things how you like, take your time, try some new things, stick with some things that have worked, try those things again. That's been the Buckeyes' pace this season. Ryan Day asked about the pace. Buckeyes are definitely slower this season, not running as many plays, not as eager to just get plays off. And like I said, go. First goal is to win. And this is a theme. Just win, baby. Ryan Day has said it time and time again. It's a theme for him. First goal is to win. When you look at it from that point of view, you do everything you can to win that game. Then you take a step back, figure what gives us the best chance to reach our goals. He continues saying, and that's the way we look at it. And the idea of quote-unquote style points, which he talks about all the time, I guess was probably a little bit more important before the 12-team playoff. Right now, it's about winning games. That's all Ryan Day cares about. I understand people want to see more Julian Sayin. This is stats from Ohio, where really was the most like Julian Sayin unleashed moment, 30-plus passing attempts, a little more Julian Sayin. Kept that accuracy. I can appreciate that. Loaded up on the yards. I can appreciate that. But that's where the interceptions came. You don't see many Julian Sayin turnovers or interceptions, but when you unleashed him, really let him go for it, yeah, he made some mistakes. He made some bad throws, some interceptions. He tried to get a throw off while getting hit, got picked off. That's what happens when they unleashed Julian Sayin in that regard. This is an extremely unique situation Sayin's a first-year starter. Barely, I don't even think he's 20 years old. I'd have to double check on his age yet. If he is, he's barely 20 years old. He and Ryan Day still getting acclimated, right, as a 1-2 punch. Day's managing a brand new quarterback with limited experience. To go from Will Howard to Julian Sayin's very, very difficult. So no, there's no green light yet for Julian Sayin to throw 40 times, right? He doesn't have that experience to do that. And the most we've seen of him, he made mistakes in that game, right? He hasn't made many. Julian Sayin's been good. I've talked about it. He's passed every test the Buckeyes have asked of him. I think Ryan Day's protected Julian Sayin in the right ways. Not a hide him, not a make sure, he's not great at these things, so make sure he doesn't do them. He's just made sure Julian Sayin's comfortable, and he's made the most of his talent. Now, going forward, I do believe this will change based on the opponent, right? So if you're playing an Illinois team that's not a heavy-scoring team that can't put up the points you're putting up, there's no need to freak out and try and get off as many plays as you can. I think it'll change with the opponent. It may also change by the quarter, by the half. If a team's not scoring, I don't think Ryan Day's going to feel the pressure to amp things up and try and get more plays off. So good questions about kind of unleashing that Super Saiyan, that Julian Sayin unleashed moment. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I think he's getting better. Ryan Day's trusting him more. I think that will come with time. Where are you guys at on this? I know our 2 questions there. Those guys are probably at 10s. They like Julian Sayin. They want to see more Julian Sayin. I think the more we've seen, the more people like him. Scale it 1 to 10. What is your confidence level in Julian Sayin? That is our pinned comment on the show today. Our next set of questions, thank you, Parker. He brings up the run game. The running back room, the explosion, the use of the running backs. People don't like to nitpick the Buckeyes. They're number 1 in the country. They're undefeated. They're playing really, really well. So I actually appreciated people bringing up some concerns. Same thing here with WhatYouTube. Our running game is still a big, big question mark. Yes, I agree. I think there's still a lot of questions with the running backs, the running game, the red zone, the explosions. Looking at the guys so far this season, you've seen a lot of C.J. Donaldson, a lot of Bo Jackson, and a little bit of James Peoples, not quite as much. And I think Ryan Day has said many times, I'm going to find a role for all these guys. I'm going to find a way to get all these guys involved. We've seen that. Obviously, Bo's come on more and more as a freshman running back. Ryan Day talking about what they're going to do. He was initially asked about the efficiency against Illinois. He said, yeah, I was happy with how efficient we are. So I think the more important thing to look at is efficiency. We always want to be explosive, and yes, it's very important that we continue to get better because we know we need the running game down the road. He's talked about that multiple times. They're going to need these guys. They're going to need these running backs. I'll give my thoughts on it in just a second. Do want to mention to you guys, this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. My personal favorite part about Prize Picks, simple to play, right? So you just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. You get your picks right. You could cash in. Also, lately, been talking a lot about stacks. If you guys don't remember or don't understand it, you can take one guy, such as Josh Allen, pick his pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns, put them all in the same lineup. So if you know he's going to do well, why not capitalize on it with stacks from Prize Picks? Looking ahead to Saturday, Buckeyes and Badgers going at it. Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sayin. I'm going more on receptions for Jeremiah, more on passing touchdowns for Sayin. Badgers are in trouble. Down bad, not looking good, going against the Buckeyes. I'll go less on Lance Mason, the tight end, receiving yards. Just don't see it going well for him. If I haven't already told you enough good things about Prize Picks, I also want to mention you can copy lineups in just one click. It can be a friend, celebrity partner, or someone whose picks you like. Hit that follow button. Check out every lineup they create in the new Feed tab on Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks is good to be right. So, when talking about the run game, when talking about big, explosive runs, making the most of your running backs, I understand it. However, I ask, is this really what you want for the Ohio State offense? You want more running? You want more CJ Donaldson, Bo Jackson? Is that really what we want to get into with the talent that both is there and has shown to be there at wide receiver? I don't know. I'm not with it with the running backs. What I will say with that group, what we've seen so far, it's not flashy. Bo Jackson was for a minute, but it seems he's evened out a little bit to just getting those 8-9 yard first downs for the Buckeyes. Haven't seen a giant run from Bo in a while, but it works. It works well with the passing game. It works best with that controlled clock management, running your plays, getting into the end zone. Look, when the Buckeyes get into that red zone, I know it's C.J. Donaldson. I know they're going to go to C.J. Donaldson, right? Is it the utmost fun? No. Do I know there's a good chance using 4 downs and 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, 4 tight ends sometimes? Donaldson's going to get in? Yeah. Maybe the Buckeyes amp it up. Maybe they get it going. But for right now, I'll stick by with the running game. It's not flashy, but it works for this offense. Wanted to hear from you guys. Which running back do you guys want to see the most from? Interested to see if there's still some James Peoples fans out there. I know there were so many before the season started. Type JP. If you like what you see from CJ Donaldson, go ahead and type CJ. Or Bo Jackson, you can type that BJ down in the chat below. More questions from you all. Appreciate this one from Dan. Other than Texas, have the Bucks truly been challenged? Common question. We got the same from Uneko. We haven't been truly tested. Look, it's hard to decipher college football schedules. I think it's harder to decipher Ohio State's schedule just because of how things have turned out, right? Texas has not been the monster that you thought they would be. That win, while I think it's still good, is not as great as you thought it would be. Illinois, just not as good as we thought they'd be going into that game, and that was a top 25 matchup. Washington can't seem to get ranked. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's really interesting and hard to go through this schedule for the Buckeyes. Here's the deal. I understand the concern over the schedule, right? Texas hasn't been what you thought. Like I said, Washington can't get ranked. Illinois is in and out of the top 25. For me, college football rankings are very tough to decipher because teams are unranked, but only because you beat them at this point, right? Teams like Texas, teams like Illinois, if they become unranked, is one of them's the Buckeyes doing that. Would you rather they lose and they move up the rankings and you drop back? I think that's really just confusing stuff. Texas now hot. Could they end up in the SEC championship somehow? Could Illinois win out and finish ranked? Could Washington beat Michigan this weekend, get themselves ranked? Would that change everything? Now would you respect Ohio State's schedule? Craziness there. What I will say, with what the Buckeyes have been through, with what they have left, and especially with the Big Ten title game, which they need to get to and should get to, I think they will be fully challenged before they hit the playoffs. The hype of the Texas game was a challenge. The road warriors that they've had to be with this 3 road games in 4 weeks, plus the Washington 4-year streak that they ended, those road challenges, going to Camp Randall, as good as Wisconsin is, seeing different types of quarterbacks, teams, players, and then you want to talk about just overall talent, whatnot. I think the Big Ten title will offer that, and then, of course, Michigan's a different animal. You're going to be challenged by the time you hit the playoffs. So for me, maybe it's tough to decipher Ohio State's schedule. I completely understand. I've asked many times, is the Big Ten good, bad, or are they just beating each other up to look that way? Not really sure there, but I do know this. When Ohio State gets to the playoff, if they have been through the Big Ten title, I think that's a big piece of it. I believe they'll be fully challenged and ready to go heading into the playoff. Do want to thank you guys. Appreciate the questions. Be sure to be on the lookout for those when we post them. So many questions. We'll get to more as the season goes on. This is a terrific fan base. The 15,000, almost 16,000 subscribers if you subbed at the end of this video. We appreciate you for that. I'm going to throw up the OH, and I expect you guys to comment IO.